So in this video, I want to talk about something that's distributing the negative, okay? So distributing the negative means we're going to do our distributive property like we've learned about, except we need to remember to distribute the negative over everything inside the parentheses if the thing right outside the parentheses is negative. So the first thing that we do before we ever start on these expressions is to turn all of our subtraction signs into plus negatives. It's going to help us a lot. Not that it's absolutely necessary, but it really does remind us that it's the negative that we're going to be distributing as well as the number itself. So here we have two subtraction signs. So if you ever see a subtraction sign, just put it into a plus negative, plus negative. Okay, this is the number one thing to remember after we've done that. This 2 plus negative 5 is not something that we're going to do first. This is addition. 2 plus negative 5 is addition. Addition and subtraction are things that we only do after we've done multiplication. PEMDAS says we do multiplication before we ever do addition or subtraction. So if we were to do addition here, we would be short-circuiting the PEMDAS. PEMDAS says, no, no, no. Multiply negative 5 times the parentheses first. Even though that there's no operation here, it's assumed that it's a multiplication right there. So if you want, put in this little multiplication dot so you know that this negative 5 is married to this parentheses through multiplication, which is a much stronger bond than addition, meaning that because of PEMDAS, we have to multiply negative 5 times everything inside this parentheses before we even think about adding it to 2, all right? So do not try to add these first. It will not be correct because you will be, again, skipping over that addition. Skipping over doing multiplication first and trying to get to that addition, which you should not be doing. Okay, now that we have safely done this, we can bring down the 2 because the 2 is not being added to anything quite yet. 2 plus, and then this negative 5 is going to be distributed over to this x. Then we'll bring down, you have to honor whatever operation is in here. So this operation is plus. So, and then we'll multiply negative 5 times negative 6. Okay, so negative 5 times x is negative 5x plus negative 5 times negative 6, two negatives multiplied, give us a positive product, in this case positive 30. Now we can start to combine different things that are like terms. The 2 and the 30 are both constants. So constants are like terms. That turns into 32 plus negative 5x. X is an unlike term to 32. X is a variable. 32 is a constant. You can't mix them. So this is as far as we can go. This is a perfectly good answer. If you want, you can convert back this plus negative into a subtraction sign. That's totally fine as well. This is also great if you want to give that answer. Also remember that since this is a negative 5x, this negative follows this 5x wherever it goes. So if you want to put the negative 5x first, that's fine. Just remember it's a negative 5x plus 32. All of these 1, 2, 3. All of these are versions of the exact same thing. You can put any one of these on a quiz or a test, and it's totally correct, okay? You don't need to put them all down. You just need to put them one of them down, and they're all the same thing, okay? So let's continue on with distributing the negative. Now, in that case, distributing the negative was very visible. It was like an actual number times things inside, okay? But what if it was something that looked like this? 4 minus, not 3, 4 minus, and then just parentheses, say x minus, I don't know, 2. Let's say we had this. Now you're saying, oh, okay, well, there's nothing to, there's nothing to tempt me on the outside or anything like that to do, so what I'll try to do is just 4 minus x minus 2. This is wrong. That's wrong, okay? 4 minus x minus 2, that is not correct. That's not correct because we didn't distribute the negative. You're like, but there's no number there to distribute. Yes, there is. There's a -1. It wasn't there, and it won't be written for you, but you need to assume that whenever there's a -1 right there, okay? So this -1, it was hidden, but you need to put it in yourself, okay? It's very important to put that in yourself. So now, let's do what we've always done. Subtraction signs are plus negatives, right there. So you've got 4 plus -1 times x is -x, plus -1 times -2 is a +2. Combine the 2 and the 4, which are the constants, plus -x. That's as far as you can go, okay? If you want, again, convert it back to a subtraction sign, or you can put that -x out front. That's totally fine as well. So all of those are fine. The idea is to remember that that negative was a -1, and that -1 had to be distributed against everything inside the parentheses first, and then and only then can you combine it, or try to combine with the 4, okay? So just very quickly, if we have -2 plus 3, okay? Well, let's first show you why that distributing the negative will actually work. Okay, let's say we used PEMDAS. 2 plus 3 is 5. -5 is -5. Okay, so we know that this is equal to -5. Put a -5 out here. We know this is equal to -5. Let's do this distribution, and I want to show you that it'll give us the same thing. Instead of thinking of it like this, -1 times 2 plus 3. Now let's distribute everything on here. So it's -1 times 2 is -2, plus -1 times 3 is -3, -2 plus -3 is -5. Same thing, okay? So that proves to you, hopefully, that distributing the negative will get the job done. You have to distribute the negative in order for you to get the correct answer. So I'm going to give you a shot on how to do a couple of those. Thanks.